Have you ever rewatched a remake of your childhood anime and thought, why does everyone look so weird now? The faces are sharper, the bodies are thinner, and proportions feel almost unreal. And somehow, characters that once felt warm and expressive now look flatter. So, what happened? Did anime art style actually get worse? Or some beauty standards are changing in a way that makes characters feel less human? Actually, recently I rewatched newer versions of classics like Detective Conan, Cateye, and Cardcaptor Sakura, and honestly the visual difference was shocking. Older versions often had softer lines, rounder faces, and more natural proportions. But in some newer versions, the faces look sharper, the eyes more standardized, and the bodies almost paper thin. It's not necessarily bad, but it definitely feels different, and many viewers noticed immediately. There are actually multiple reasons why the visual appeal of 2D animated characters seems to have declined. And one of the most important factors is technology. Traditional cel animation used hand-painted plastic sheets that were photographed frame by frame to create a complete sequence. A single frame often required several layers of cel stacked together, making the layering process highly detailed and complex. Because of this, cel animation often featured strong contrasts between light and shadow, with very few transitional colors. As a result, the overall visuals looked vibrant, richly colored, and full of depth. In contrast, most modern digital animation relies heavily on complex visual effects. Many animation studios tend to add large amounts of lightning effects, which often soften the outlines of the background and reduce the sharpness of the character's features. Although this gives image a more advanced and modern look, it is often criticized for having excessive light pollution. It can feel almost like a beauty filter turned up to level 50. The sense of technology is enhanced, but the image no longer feels as clean and crisp. With the rapid development of digital technology, the production efficiency of cel animation became far too low. Combined with the difficulty of passing down traditional hand-drawn techniques and the discontinuation of film stock, the once dazzling art of cel animation has gradually faded from the stage of history. And another reason is beauty standard. This is a part I find really interesting. Modern character design sometimes mirrors real-life beauty pressure. More recent anime often favors cuter faces, slimmer bodies, and larger eyes, and more extreme proportions like tiny waist, extreme slim limbs, start to resemble the same aesthetic that exists in real life, especially in the parts of East Asia. In other words, the beauty standard isn't only affecting people, it's affecting fictional bodies too. Characters become visually thinner, younger looking, and more delicate, sometimes almost fragile. And once audience get used to seeing this style, it starts to feel normal, even when it's highly unrealistic. So I think what many people are reacting to is not simply old is better, it's emotional memory. Classic anime styles often feel more alive because they are tied to our childhood emotions. But beyond nostalgia, older character design often had stronger individuality. But today, some characters really look the same, and this sameness can make people feel that something has been lost.